Good morning, friends. Happy Fri-Yay. We're doing the kit together. So this morning we're going to be using the Rock Legend kit. It's a super easy kit that's only $14 and it makes 8 great cards for those rock stars in your life. Um, but this morning I'm going to make a couple of cards and then I'm going to show you how to do a scrapbook layout. It's super easy to do scrapbook layouts and you can use kits for this. Makes it really easy to not have to do any die cutting or fussy cutting or anything else because it's mostly done for you. We're going to do a little bit of disassembling in order to get what we want from it. But, and then I'll show you how you can bump it up and make it that much more impactful just with a couple of extra ideas. So let's get to it. Oh, and I did give you the link for the kits so you can take a look. There's all kinds of kits that Stampin' Up! Sells. And I'm also going to just remind you that if you buy $35 or more using my host code this month, I will be providing you with a kit for my upcoming class called Excellent Eggs. Super cute. And I'll show you those real quick. All right. So before I get to that, just a reminder, these are the items. It'll be one color, so it won't be like a bunch of cards, but one color to make this card, this little treat box, and one of these little treat boxes. So it'll be different colors, but you'll have everything that you need to do to make that. So that's my Excellent Eggs kit, class kit, and I'll mail those out most likely later on this month. Okay, to this kit. So the great thing about this kit is there is no stamping necessary, and that's why it's only $14. So you don't get the Stampin' Spot, and you don't get the block or the photopolymer stamps. But this kit, like all of them, has instructions. It shows what is included in the kit and instructions on how to make the 8 cards. All right. So at the very beginning of the kit, you'll find information on what goes with each card. Now you can switch it up. You don't have to do what they tell you to do. But one of the things that I really love that Stampin' Up! Has been doing is they've been making the entire card a color. So it's white on the other side, but you've got all these options with cutting it apart and using maybe the back for more. Okay, so it looks like there's some vellum stars. I love the size of these stars. And then we've got vellum, looks like guitar picks. Let me just pull out the rest of the cards. Okay, so that's that card. And there's that card. And we've got some great envelopes, and you can switch them up however you want to, so it doesn't matter which one you want to use. We've got embellishments, and it looks like we've got dimensionals as well. And then we've got additional paper. Now, the interesting thing about this is they have different languages. So all the English ones are going to be together. But I am not going to cut, I'm not going to throw these away because I want to be able to cut out the word rock star. And so I'm going to use those. But also they are a shape that can be used for my scrapbook. And then here it's You're a Legend. And that one goes with this one. And then we've got Happy Birthday. And that one goes with this one. So the rest of the things I don't really think I can use. Yes, I don't really need the rest of them. Okay, so this one goes with this. And then we've got these guitars. So cute. And then it looks like drumsticks. I don't have anybody in my life that plays bands, but you know, I definitely enjoy having something a little different to send to grandkids or friends for birthday cards. So this can be, you know, just a birthday card, or you can send it just for a regular greeting. Oh, and it looks like there's some little glue dots as well. Let's pull that out. And then I always save these. You can stamp on it, or you can use the chipboard for little books or albums. Okay, so I'll have to show you how to do an album one of these days because I've done those in the past. All right, so for our first card, we just need a few things, and there's no stamping, so this is just going to go together super quick, and that's why I'm going to spend some time showing you how to do a scrapbook page. Okay, and I don't think it really matters which envelope I use, but I'm going to start by, all right, so this just gets, let's see, I think we put down this first, so this gets a couple of glue dots. And then the star gets some glue dots as well. It's always a good idea to put at least 2 glue dots down so that your item stays secure. And this one also gets glue dots. So I had an MRI this morning. Hopefully they'll have some remedies on what solutions we're going to need for my shoulder. So it's definitely improving little by little, but it sure is hard to sleep sometimes. All right, these dimensionals barely fit on this label, so you might want to cut it in half if you don't want it to show. We've got these cute little stars as well. That's one of the cards. I mean, did that go together easy or not? It just took me like 5 minutes. So there's one card. And then for the other card, we only need one. And then one of these. All right. Okay, so this little design is a little wonky. So what we're going to do is we're going to, looks like pop it up, and we're just going to angle it a different way. I typically like to put at least 5 dimensionals on the back of something this large. Give it a little support in the middle. So we'll just make it so that you can see all the other behind. Okay, so needs glue dots for the back of the guitar. And we need a couple of, this gets dimensionals. Okay, so I'm going to be a little careful about where I put these, because the thing about vellum is it's translucent just a little bit, and I don't want these to be shown. Excuse me. Oh, Marisi, good morning. Okay, so we're going to stick this like so, and then we're going to stick the guitar right over the dimensionals. I don't want those dimensionals to show, so we'll stick it like so. And then we've got the sentiment, which again takes a couple of dimensionals. So this will be a little thicker of a card than normal. And I think I'm going to change it up. I don't really want that much depth because the dimensionals underneath aren't secure. So I'm going to just do 1 dimensional and 1 glue dot. And that way it supports it without making it wonky. All right, now some stars. So whenever you're doing your embellishments, my recommendation is you always use an odd number, like 1, 3, 5. That way it just kind of adds to the balance of your project. It's like when you're doing an arrangement, you don't want things to be in even numbers. But also when you're putting your embellishments down, kind of think of your eye is kind of following a circle, and it could go either way, but you kind of want things to go in a circle or a C, and it just kind of leads your eye around. All right, there's our second card, and here's a cool envelope to go with it. So really awesome. All right, now we're going to play with some scrapbooking. So I'll put these cards here so you can kind of see. All right, so I'm using a piece of 12 by 12 designer series paper cardstock, and it's just basic black. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut apart 2 cards. So I'm going to use the parts and because I want some of this paper to use for my scrapbook page. Now I'm not going to use the happy birthday because it's not really a birthday themed, but I've got some great pictures of my son that I want to display on a scrapbook page. Now I'm actually going to do a 2-page spread, so we're going to spread this out a little bit because I've got a couple other pictures from him from junior high, and these are a couple from high school. And but this one is great because it's got a little bit of red in it, and then this one has a little bit of the yellow gold, so it'll still work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these 2 pieces off with my cutter. So I still have these that I can use. So I think that this one I'm going to use for my second spread, and I'm just going to use one of these. But the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut apart the envelopes, because the envelope has this really cool color on the inside. So the best way to do it is to just tear apart the envelope as gently as you can, because we're going to use this as just maybe a background behind a picture. And so let me just cut this down. Okay, so I'm starting with a size of the card. The card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. If you go a 1/4 inch bigger than that, then you end up with 5 3/4 and 4 1/2. And it just gives you a little bit of more color. So I'm going to use the red for this one. I'm going to use the back of the yellow just to kind of get some extra color. And then I can place pictures over, and I've got some extra pieces of cardstock that I have cut out. And I think I just might use some of the red. And then I have an extra piece of basic white. And again, it's the same size, what I've done. And even though there's a little bit of a score mark there, nobody's going to notice. So I've got basic white, and I've got the inside of the envelope. And then you've got this great star. I think I'm going to use the guitar and this guitar pick over on the other page. And I'm going to use You Rock on this page. And I've got embellishments as well. So you can see that I can glue it all down just like this, and it would be an amazing scrapbook page. Super easy. Just a little bit of some embellishments, and I can overlap them over the photos if I want. But what I'm going to do is a little different. I don't know if you've noticed, but there is like a splatter pattern in this paper. And so I'm going to just pull these aside, and I'm going to use, I've got my great glass mat, and I've got my little silicone mat that goes with it. And I want to splatter in the background. So I'm going to use some of my Whisper White re-inker, and I'm just going to put a dab of it inside one of these little wells in my silicone mat. I'm going to use my re-inker, and you can either squeeze some water into it, or you can use like a little jar of water, because I want it to be not quite so thick. And that way I can splatter it on my paper. This is going to make a little bit of a mess, so I want to make sure it's not on my photos. Isn't that cool? Great way to just kind of add a little something extra to my scrapbook page. If you don't want to hammer on your finger, you can use something like this. And you can see that the splatter gets a little finer over time because there's less on there. So I don't think I need any more than that. I'm going to rinse this off so it doesn't get hard. Okay, make sure that looks like I got a little bit on my card up here and a little bit on my work area. Okay, so the rest of this I'm just going to cover up. But again, if you want to just take your scrapbook page to the next level, I'm using something called Delightfully Eclectic 12 by 12 paper. And I'm just doing a strip of that of about 3 inches, or actually it's about 2 inches. And then I put a band of ribbon, 2 different kinds of ribbon, across the top. So let's glue that to the front. Let me get this out of the way so I don't get it all over the place. So the Delightfully Eclectic paper has all kinds of patterns. Let me just show it to you real quick. And it's on page 129 of the annual catalog. So you can see there's all kinds of different patterns, feminine, masculine, and I think this black and white X pattern is great for a guy's scrapbook page. So you can use glue, or you can use your tear and tape, whichever you want to use. The glue kind of lets you wiggle things around a bit. So this just kind of adds a little more interest to my scrapbook page. Okay, so this is the picture I wanted on this side. And this is the one I wanted on this side. Okay, so now I can start gluing it down. All right. I've got some spots that are still wet. No big deal. So I'm going to stick this one up here. Now I don't have to add all these layers. You can just add the pictures to one color, and I think it would still look great. So you can see it'll still look great, but I'm just adding a little bit more visual interest to the card or to the scrapbook page. And I'm just going to make this a little bit wonky. And you want to stick to like 3 or 4 colors at the most. So I've got white and black. This is crushed curry and real red. And then I'm going to do tear and tape on the back of the pictures, or glue dots. I'm not as fond of gluing my pictures down in case for some reason somebody needs to take it out in the future. And this is a 4x6 photo. And what I did is I cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. So it's the same size as the card front. or slightly smaller than the card front. So it just kind of gives you a little visual interest. And then I'll glue this. And then this little piece, I might just add it down below and then add a piece of cardstock here with maybe some of my information about Nathaniel during this time. So I think that might be a better idea than, yeah, I like that better. Such a handsome guy. Okay. Now, any of your embellishments can, let's see, this one looks like it would. Now, what I've done also is I have die cut out some sentiments. Now, this is the what's left over, and this can be used as well at some other point on a scrapbook page. But what I've done is I've added adhesive paper to the back and then die cut it out, so I don't have to glue all these itty bitty little letters. So let's just, I also die cut out some stars, and I die cut out the word hey that is for the other page. And so this says, hey, handsome. So these dies are called Alphabet a la Mode. And as you can see, it has all the alphabet and the numbers. And then the stars I got from Beautiful Balloon Dies. So I just had a couple of stars. And that's why I like to keep my dies in a way that I can easily just kind of flip through them and figure out what I have. Because I knew I had some stars and I needed them for this. So let's get the rest of the letters. And the thing about dies is that you don't have to have everything all lined up perfectly. You can make it a little wonky, and that's okay. Oh, there's the S. So the other page is going to say, hey, handsome, and then I have a couple of exclamation marks, one in red and one in yellow. And then hopefully my kitty didn't take away the little dots. So these will get placed just under. Okay, so for really tiny stuff like that, all I have to do is there we go. My nails work better than pick a tool. So just start one letter. Works best if you kind of bend it back a little bit, but because it's fully adhesive, it'll really easily fix itself. Whoops. Kind of wanted to stick to my finger there. Well, I don't want you to have to watch me do that. So I can put this together later and I'll post a picture of the finished spread. So I'm going to add a dimensional on the back of this and maybe cut out a little bit so I can pop up the little drum sticks. And then this can just have some glue dots on it. And I can just add a little either typed or handwritten blurb about him during this time. This was his first day of high school. And I just loved his expression. His smile was so great on this picture. And then I'm going to pop up this cute guitar pick as well. All right, and a couple of stars. And then we have more stars because remember we have the stars that came with the embellishments for the cards. So I'll add a few of those. And there we go. And I just feel like this is a great layout. And so I'll put together the second page and I'll post them on my Facebook page. And I hope you had enjoyed this. So this is the Rock Legend kit. And we used what was left over from one of the cards and the envelope and used it as our background. I'm going to do the same thing with the second envelope for my second page, so you'll see that layout as well. And we'll use the guitar and You're a Legend. And so I think this would be great. And then there was one other sentiment I told you that I just thought was really great, and it's just rock star. So what I can do, or star, rock, I'm going to fussy cut these out and put them on the other page as well. So there's lots of opportunity. There's also the back side of this that I could have used as, you know, another portion that went underneath something. So it's definitely got some more choices. And that's it for today. So thanks so much for joining me. Have a great Friday and weekend. And I'll see you again on Monday with my Marvelous Monday. All right. If you're watching this later on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, like, and share my YouTube videos. Thanks so much.